Okay, we're going to test the case temperature running 3 LEDs on high output. We're going to monitor how the case temperature increases. I'm also going to monitor the lux output. Not looking to convert these number to lumens really, just looking to see how much drop there is and how quickly it drops and whether it steadies at a certain output or what happens, and we'll definitely see where it drops down to a lower mode and how low that mode is. Hopefully you can see that the ambient room temperature is 70.7 degrees. The current case temperature is reading 72 to 73 degrees, and my battery pack is starting at 8.28 volts. So here we go. Let's turn the light on, and it should kick on in 3 LEDs on high mode. There you go. We saw 675 times 10s, 6750 lux. You can see it dropping. You can see the current output there around 6.46 amps. It's actually holding fairly steady. And temperature's rising, 87, 88 degrees, that's Fahrenheit. Hopefully these screens are coming out in the video. Oh, and that fan you see above the light is currently not on. I wanted to see what would happen with no airflow yet. And that temperature probe, I have it, oh, there we go, kick down. That temperature probe, oh, it kicked back up. The temperature probe is jammed into one of the fins in the middle, which should be very close to the back surface where the center LED is mounted to. And it's jammed in there the best that I could get it in there. So it's definitely has some thermal regulation, and it's kicking back up rather quickly, possibly too quickly. All right, let's turn this fan on now that we're watching seeing what it's doing with no airflow. This fan only blows on a single speed, and it's actually not that much air. So it should simulate, I don't know, riding at a steady pace, but not fast. Although I'm blowing into the sphere, so that's not helping a lot. But it doesn't seem to be enough to keep the lamp from regulating and kicking down. Still, you can see our output, 5,530, while it's up in high mode. 3,400 when it kicks down. I'll have to, I guess I can convert those numbers to lumens later to give you an idea. Now that's 1990, 2000. Our case temperature is reading now 131 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're not even holding high mode. I'm not sure if we saw it in high mode kicking down to medium, and now we're in medium kicking down to low. Possibility. Or maybe when it kicks down it does not, or step down, maybe when it steps down it's not actually stepping down to one of our regular preset modes, but maybe something that's programmed into the driver. I should have mentioned that, and maybe it's obvious, that voltage and amperage is off the battery pack. I've not cracked open the light head yet to get any internal measurements. I was hoping to see maybe this would cool down enough for it to kick back up into high mode. But we're just sitting steady here. Let's see how this case feels. Even with that air blown on it, it's very warm, but I can definitely keep holding it. By the way, this GoPro mount thing is plastic, so that's not causing any heat sinking. I don't know if it just won't kick back up into high mode, or what's going on here. Or if the battery pack is just to the point where it can't support it. That's my 6-cell homemade pack with the NCR 18650 BEs with the 7 amp Hunkley balancing, well, not balancing, protection circuit. Sold as having balancing, but it doesn't have balancing. Temperature is dropping real slow, but we are getting fairly steady output. Let's try to manually change it back to high mode. There we go. You can ignore that. So I had to manually kick it back up to high mode, but it did let me do it. And my guess, it's going to stay there until it hits a temperature and starts stepping down. I apologize if this video is getting boring. There we go. Yeah, step down about half, about 6 amps to 3.1 amps. So that to me is the 50% medium mode we're stepping down to. Somewhere there around 124, 125 degrees is where it's stepping down. Keeping in mind that's external case temperature. So at the very least, it looks like you're not going to overheat this light. You're not going to just cook the emitters and watch the solder melt and the emitters fall off the PCBs. But I think probably what we're seeing here is the high mode is really only something you can use temporarily, as you're not going to be able to maintain high mode even if you have a battery pack to support it. You're just going to keep dealing with the step down unless I try to put a fan that cools it even more to keep the temperature down. Perhaps that corresponds to some downhill speeds that might keep it cool enough. I wouldn't even begin to know what kind of speed that's equivalent to. My guess, I don't know, 5 to 7 mile per hour maybe. Okay, well, I'm going to end it here. Hope you've enjoyed this thermal analysis video.